This is Daily Blast Live. We're talking about what you're talking about.
Get real.
You all ready for this? Dun, 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 dun. No.
Y'all, just stop.
This is a sham.
Welcome to DBL. It's Tuesday, October 5th. I'm Jeff here with my friends Al and Tori. Al, Tori had a very interesting question. You want to share or maybe get an answer?
Yeah, actually I do. I'm trying to eat healthier, and I wondered if pork was considered under the umbrella of red meat.
I thought it was considered white meat.
I thought it was the new white meat.
That's what I thought it was too. I remember the commercials.
So that's what we're talking about.
Does anybody really know?
There we go. That's what we talk about at the bridge. You want to know what it's like on TV? That's what we talk about. All right.
Sorry.
So this week, Dancing with the Stars celebrated Britney Spears with, drumroll Tori, Britney Night. Clever. Tyra Banks came out wearing a schoolgirl outfit similar to the one Britney wore in her video, Baby One More Time. Here's Tyra next to Britney. What do we think? Pretty good. Pretty good. Tyra also changed into another outfit that was inspired by Britney because it's Britney night. I'm a Slave for You performance at the 2001 VMAs. And Derek Huff missed the show because of a possible exposure to COVID. Cody Rigsby and his partner Cheryl Burke both danced virtually and separately. Awesome. Because they did test positive for COVID. Let's watch that. All right, so there were some moans around while we were playing that. Listen, they're playing the hand that they're dealt. I thought it was creative.
I think just maybe next year.
Well, it's a
Just
show.
wait.
They can't just say maybe next year. They have advertisers.
You can't adapt in the same. No, not the whole
they're
show.
adapting.
I'm saying that wasn't good.
Can I say something and this is about the Britney, this has always bothered me. I don't like grown women in the Catholic girl outfit. I don't get that. I used to live in Cleveland next to a girls' school, St. Anne's, Cleveland Heights, and they were real girls that wore that outfit. I don't like to see grown women in that. It's very off-putting for me. I don't know why. Fair. You know, I get it. I just don't get that. So, but I liked her second look, but I didn't really like the first one.
I'm down with that. So let's go back to the virtual performance.
Well, I just think that, like, along with it, I just think wait for next year for Cheryl Burke and Cody Rigsby. It's just, I don't want to see two people kind of buffering on a Zoom.
Well, what do you want to see?
I want to see them next year being together.
Yes, but now we have an empty slot for this year.
Then bring in two new people and just replace this 2001 Zoom
what if
with
that
something
was,
actually
let me
in
ask you
person.
this, just playing devil's advocate.
Yeah.
What if that was you and you got to be on Dancing with the Stars? You have COVID for a week or two, depending on your symptoms, you could pass it, right, and test negative. They could be back next week. So to fill that time slot, instead of going home, wouldn't you rather stay on the show?
I would rather have a clean slate and start where there isn't that. But that's just me. Maybe that's great for people. I don't think the audience got into it. I don't think the whole idea of Dancing with the Stars is whoosh, getting everyone into it. And I was like, are we buffering? It was just a little for me.
Yeah, to your point, they got the lowest score.
Oh.
Yeah, they have no chance.
So I won. Yeah, no, that was
a rough.
I totally get your point.
Yeah.
All right, so on to this story. Comedian Sarah Silverman isn't laughing about non-Jewish people playing Jewish characters on screen. So Sarah is taking issue with the news that Kathryn Hahn, a Catholic, was cast to play Joan Rivers in an upcoming limited series. But on her podcast, Sarah said Hollywood has a long history of using Gentile or non-Jewish actors to portray Jewish characters who do what she calls, quote, Jew face. Let's watch.
Jew face, doesn't feel good to say, is defined as when a non-Jew portrays a Jew with the Jewishness front and center, often with makeup or changing of features, big fake nose, all the New Yorkie or Yiddishy inflection. And in a time when the importance of representation is seen as so essential and so front and center, why does ours constantly get breached, even today, in the thick of it?
Can I just say, when I said Jew face, I was like, that didn't feel great to say. And then that was the first thing that she said.
Yeah.
And she's Jewish.
Yeah.
So times have changed.
Yeah,
times
they
have really
really
changed.
have. And here's the thing. I totally get what Sarah Silverman, I'm Jewish, and I get what she's saying specifically also for this case. Joan Rivers' Jewishness is sort of like that kind of That's part of it. That's part of the whole culture. That's part of like the flavor. So if you were making like salsa or you're making soup, it's like not adding a real authentic flavor to it. And I think that will change. Inflections, Yiddish phrases, it's just a rhythm. And I kind of understand a bit what Sarah Silverman's saying. I also think the big nose thing we got to get rid of because that's just like such a trope.
stereotype.
So
Well,
old,
can
and
you
it's
answer
not allowed
this
to do that
question for me?
anymore.
Because I'm curious. Have you ever talked about this in your circles before this? You've been in Hollywood for a while. Like, is this a thing, or were you surprised when you heard this? Because I'd never heard this.
I know for a while back in old Hollywood, any Jew would be played by usually a Gentile being like glasses, they're a banker,
course, yes.
big nose. And it's gone on, she's right, for a little too long. It's like when I would make fun of an Italian being like, Mamma mia, that's not cool.
But
Right.
it is. I'm half Italian. I'm not the spokesperson for Italian people, but I don't mind. I don't mind if a non-Italian person plays an Italian person. How far are we going that all the actors have to mimic who they
Right,
are in
right.
real life to the acting role?
Right, to the ethnicity. And I agree. For me, it's Joan Rivers particularly. That is kind of a slap in the face that you couldn't find a Jewish comedian. To me, that I understand what Sarah Silverman's saying. But I understand also, I don't mind if you just don't overdo the nose and make it all kind of about money. That's a real trope that we deal with still in movies.
Totally. I totally get Sarah Silverman's point. I actually think she'd be great
I do
playing
too.
Joan Rivers. I just don't like where we're moving
I
with
hear
this
you.
because they're pretending to be somebody.
Yeah.
Right.
You know, and it's like if we're getting to a point where like, hey man, we'd love to give you this role, but you know what? You're not French.
Right.
It's like what?
But one of the biggest Jewish comedians ever.
I totally get it. I'm just debating.
Yeah,
the other
I mean, I
side.
went to Hamilton and saw George Washington played by a 6'5" black man,
Right.
and it was fine.
Right.
It was better than fine. So, I mean, I understand with every, there's the law of unintended consequences, and when you say we only want Jewish people to play this, Italians to play this, then we're going to start getting pushback. Like,
Yeah,
what's up with
that's
Hamilton,
crazy.
bro?
Right,
So like,
right.
we have to really watch where we go with that. But I do understand.
Yeah, I totally see her point. All right, now to some real news.
Ew.
Meghan Trainor and her husband Daryl are really close, but are they too close? This is Al's story, by the way. Meghan was
Totally.
on the Why Don't You Date Me podcast with Nicole Byer and confessed that she and her husband go to the bathroom together. That's right. Have a listen.
So I was like, can we please have two toilets next to each other? So we...
Bro, I'm telling you, it is insanity.
That's an exclusive.
You guys are
Wait
an
a
minute.
we got
I'm
two toilets
sorry.
sitting next to
Excuse
each
me.
other.
Al, you pitched this. Are you down with this?
I mean, look,
This is wrong.
there's one thing with being close, and there's one thing about being in a codependent relationship, which you proudly own. This is another level. This is like, once you cross this line, like, this is where you start doing weird stuff, tattoos, and I can't.
Tattoos is cool. This is not.
I couldn't imagine this. I could not imagine this.
All the sexiness and flair that I had for Meghan Trainor is gone. Because it's just so gross to me.
What if somebody says this is how close we are, that we've crossed all the perceived boundaries put on us by society?
That's a boundary to me you don't cross. Hard. Hard in line, right?
I'm totally with you. That's disgusting.
Yeah.
How about this? Door open? Acceptable?
Absolutely not. Like, I don't look.
Sorry, Tori's on
I'm
board.
old school. Like, I don't do any bodily anything,
Really?
even exhaling of gas or any. I like to keep my woman as that's not my homie.
Yeah.
Like, you're not my bro. So like, I treat you like that. I don't do that around. I don't even like to be sweaty and like I don't like that.
So no, trying to get the words to come here without getting in trouble. You don't pass gas in front of your
Absolutely
girl?
not. No. And she doesn't in front of me. No. I mean,
What if you caught?
I mean, if I get startled,
What if you caught a little-
something scares me. Yeah, something.
Do you and Jordan do that?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, we're very comfortable with each other.
No.
Not comfortable enough to put toilets
That's
next to each other.
disgusting.
But I mean,
That's walking
there's
down toilet
listen,
alley.
we have kids running in and out. There's no privacy. There is nowhere to go. Even the bathroom is like, what are you doing, Dad? It's like, whatever, buddy. You know what I mean?
Yeah. But you're right. Walking down the toilet alley, that's a slippery slope to Flushville.
There we go. Yeah, I like that. That was good. All
You were
right.
thinking about that the whole time. And
No,
that's
I
what
just
you came
came
up
up
with?
with
It was
came up
worth
with
it.
it.
See,
So
wait.
you're a door open girl.
I don't know.
Oh, no. Yes, you are. Yes, you are.
Things got real. Things got real. Coming up on DBL, after 46 years of tricks, Penn and Teller are not done yet. You won't want to miss their interview. It's coming up. I was trying to think of, what did they say? A magical friendship.
Oh, yes, that was
I
great.
wanted that in my script. And after the Facebook and Instagram outage yesterday, we have some funny celebrity reactions coming up.
Closed captioning.
Well, who calls it tooting? We were just asking if you toot in front of people.
Can I go?
And yeah, go ahead.
You go. Here, let me explain my answer for a second. I met my wife on Big Brother, if you don't know, and it's 15, 16 people in a house with one bathroom. So you get very cozy with each other very quickly, and they didn't put this on air, but I said to the other house guests, who's going to use the bathroom first? Because it's a legit question, right? You get very friendly very quickly. And me and my wife, that's how we met, not to get too disturbing. But so we were always.
Was the door open ever in Big Brother?
You go in there sometimes like to brush your, not brush your teeth, you go to brush your teeth and you go to the bathroom, and if they don't put like occupied, oh, what's up, Kevin? Sorry, buddy. You know what I mean? Like so many times I've been walked in, you walk in on people, it's just, it's part of the game, man.
In 2021, they could do that now?
What are you talking about? They still do.
With one bathroom?
One bathroom, and then once you win the head of household competition, then there's a bathroom, a private bathroom. That's kind of like one of your bonuses.
I see.
Oh, that'd be the best.
Yeah, that would be the best.
It's the best.
Yeah.
You realize when you don't have a private bathroom how much that means.
And there's microphones and cameras in there, except they don't turn the cameras on. And I've been in the control room, they really don't. Unless there's two people in there having a conversation, then they flip it on. But your mic's in there, I mean, it's very traumatic.
Yeah.
It's a traumatic experience no one talks about.
Yeah.
Are you a survivor?
I am.
That's a really, really, really big deal to me. It's like,
Would you be able to do it?
It's such a problem. I don't think so. Like,
It'd be a deal breaker?
Remember, someone would knock on the door here and you didn't like that.
yeah, I don't want to be bothered
privacy.
in there. I don't, that's my sanctuary.
She sees
That's
her-
my Game of
your
Thrones.
I was wondering how long we were going to talk about this till one of the producers were like, all right, that's enough.
I thought Chris just walked out.
Welcome back to DBL. So did we all survive the big blackout yesterday?
I did. I'm here.
All right, because we're talking
Doing
about
good.
the Facebook, Instagram, and WhatsApp outage that happened yesterday. In case you didn't notice, the major social media sites disappeared from the internet for hours yesterday. They're back up and working now. So after Facebook says it fixed a server issue during the outage, CEO Mark Zuckerberg lost an estimated $6 billion in a matter of hours. Meanwhile, the company lost out on nearly $100 million in revenue. That's according to Fortune. So Twitter capitalized on the outage, tweeting, "Hello, literally everyone."
That's funny.
Hilarious.
Jeff, you have a theory.
I do have a theory.
Have a
I
little
do.
chit chat with us.
Well, one, I do want to say I don't post that often, and I chose yesterday to post, and I thought I totally forgot how to post because I'm like, this is not working. Why isn't it going? Turns out there was an outage. My luck. Anyways, I did post. Here's my theory. I don't buy that $6 billion in 6 hours. I just don't, because that means how much is he making today? $10 billion, $12 billion? My thing is there's a lot of pushback with Facebook and Instagram and social media in general. They're kind of like, let's see how you like me without a couple hours. Let's see how your life is and then see if you want to keep bashing me type of deal. You guys buy in that?
Well, yeah, there's a protest that's called a No Immigrant Day and a No Woman Day, and it's when you see what happens when an immigrant or immigrants don't show up to work or a woman doesn't show up to work, what happens, and you see the major downfalls in our society that is being held up by those people. It's a theory that's very popular on Twitter right now that's going on.
Is it?
Yeah. A lot of people say, if you don't want us after the big CBS 60 Minutes bombshell, see what it's like for 6 hours without us.
Well, we keep saying without, like we're going to take it away. Let's look at it another way. Let's say that Facebook is like, we are going to pull back and kind of shadow ban negative content, not just erroneous, but negative content. Will it still have the pull? because people do like to do combat online. Well, I think that's why Parler and all the kind of right-wing sites, they were like, oh, it's just going to be a bunch of Trump people. They tried that, but Trump people need somebody to go against. And so I wonder if Facebook will run into that same kind of problem with the business model, not having the combat, which people kind of, it seems like they seek out.
The 60 Minutes whistleblower said by dramatic numbers, if it's a combative post, it will do like an enormously much better than any kind of peaceful, calm, happy post. I mean, it's just, so that's where all the money goes.
And I think networks, don't quote me on this, I heard it somewhere, that networks actually, like the ratings went down after Trump exited office.
Right.
Absolutely.
Because they didn't have stories.
Of course.
Every day was a story about Trump. People tuned in to almost hate watch if you didn't like Trump. And after he left, their ratings went way down. So I think you're absolutely right on that front.
Yeah, I mean, people, look at wrestling. There always needs to be a heel. For there to be a Hulk Hogan, there needs to be an Andre the Giant for him to go against. And if you don't have that, it's just a good guy or just a bad guy. People don't like it. It's theater at some point.
Who was your guy?
I was Andre the Giant.
Andre the Giant?
Oh, yeah. Hulk Hogan was annoying. I didn't like that.
No Superflex,
like weird hair when his bandana would come off. Yeah, his hair was weird.
Coming up on DBL, our interview with Penn and Teller. You have to see the throwback
Chucky
photos
doll. That's
they
what I was
shared from, how about the Iron Sheik? Remember that guy?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Penn and Teller coming up next.
Home treatment for fighting COVID-19 is being shared online. It involves inhaling hydrogen peroxide through a nebulizer, the same device used in treating asthma. So let's verify. Is inhaling nebulized hydrogen peroxide a treatment for COVID-19? We went to these sources for an answer. Inhaling hydrogen peroxide can be hazardous to your health, and you shouldn't do it. The Asthma and Allergy Foundation of America made a stern warning in a September blog post stating, "It is dangerous." Hydrogen peroxide in liquid form is used as a mild antiseptic and an ingredient in household cleaners. While you might be exposed to it when you're cleaning your home or using toothpaste with added hydrogen peroxide, the quantities are diluted enough that it's safe to use. The Agency for Toxic Substances and Disease Registry said inhaling a concentration of 10% or more of hydrogen peroxide can cause severe irritation to the lungs or even burned tissue. In some extreme cases, inhaling it can cause respiratory paralysis. A 2021 trial conducted in Brazil gave mouthwash with 1% hydrogen peroxide and nasal spray with 0.5% hydrogen peroxide to patients with COVID-19. The trial found, quote, insufficient evidence to demonstrate that H2O2 is effective as an auxiliary treatment for hospitalized COVID-19 patients. So we can verify, no, you should not inhale nebulized hydrogen peroxide for any reason, and it's not a COVID-19 treatment. With your Fast Fact, I'm Adiande Till.
Welcome back to DBL. They're not only known for their incredible illusions, but also their magical friendship. Penn and Teller joined us earlier to chat about the new season of their show, Fool Us. That's today's Chatting with the Stars.
Welcome to the show, guys. How are you doing today?
We're doing great. We're doing great here in Vegas. We're doing wonderfully. How are you all doing?
We're doing well. We got a thumbs up from Teller, so that's good.
I'll take it.
I'm reading him his whole face. I've been reading the whole time. He's happy.
So you two have been working together. This blew my mind. For 46 years. And you posted these pics to celebrate the anniversary. Let's look. Look at this, you guys. I want our viewers to see.
Oh, my goodness.
That was us younger.
Oh,
we were doing.
Look at you guys are babies. Your partnership has lasted longer than most marriages. So we want your relationship advice. How do you two make it work?
I don't know if it'll work for a marriage, but we try to keep it as business partners. I mean, we are friends, of course, after 46 years, and my daughter insists that I refer to Teller as my BFF. But the most important thing is that we have a show to do, and even if we don't get along briefly, we just do the show, and that's, I think, really important. I think that a lot of people in show business fall in love, have really deep friendships, and forget that they're actually producing art. And we've always thought the show was more important than either of us. And that stops all the fights instantly.
Wow.
We got a show to do.
How many great rock bands would have
Wow.
stayed together
Totally.
if they had taken that advice? Didn't the Eagles break up? ABBA, everybody
Yeah.
breaks up. That'd be great advice.
Consummate professional right there. That's amazing. Now, you made headlines this year for your vaccine advocacy. Thank you for that. How would you go about convincing people that vaccines aren't just some big trick?
I don't know. I don't think that we're qualified. The major problem I think that's going on is people who are unqualified talking about this. And I don't want to add to that. I mean, I think you want to listen to your medical professionals. I don't think you need anything more than to look at the percentage of doctors that are vaccinated. I don't think you need to listen to anybody from the government. Just look at that number, how many doctors have made that decision, and maybe you want to do the same thing.
Smart.
Absolutely. I have a quick question. Tell her, do you even have to get mic'd up? Is that even part of the routine?
Are you mic'd? He's not.
But it's amazing.
That is
46 years, never been mic'd
Wait,
up.
really quickly, when Teller goes out, Teller, give me a thumbs up or a thumbs down. Do you break character? Like when people try and talk to you or get your autograph, do you talk to them?
Oh, he does.
It's worse than that. As soon as there's not a camera on or we're not on stage, Teller yaps incessantly. Incessantly. He is a chatterbox, just not professional.
I love it. I love it. Let's talk about this new season of Fool Us. Can you guys show us what was the best trick you saw? Could you tell us that?
That's a good question.
Well, we have a zillion tricks. As a matter of fact, the first season kicks off with our friend Hondro, who's a magician in spell. Oh, there's Pip. There's Pip the Magic Dragon. He's also been on a lot. Yeah, we've been on so long that some of the people, we were so touched by this. Some of the people who came on this season actually started magic because of watching Fool Us.
Wow.
And that's pretty great. And then came on and fooled us. So
Did they
it was
really?
pretty wonderful.
That's great.
That'd be a task.
That's a big deal. That's a big deal. Now, I don't know. I'm sure you guys have seen you know, how we do things here. We're not going to let you leave without putting you to work a little bit. So we need a magic trick. So do you have a trick that you can show?
We'll just do a quick thing for you. I have a deck of cards. We're not here. We're not there in the studio with you, so I can't just have you take the cards and shuffle them up yourself and pick a card.
You're
but
here in spirit.
I'll do some of that work for you. Why don't you just tell me to stop?
Stop.
Right there, right there?
Yes,
okay,
sir.
we'll take a look at that card, and then Teller will make that card appear even though he's really far away. It's going to appear in a magical tattoo, and there it is right there.
way.
Teller
No
did not
way.
look. And is that your card,
Stop.
the Five of Hearts?
That's unbelievable. Wait.
No, it was the...
10 of Hearts.
It was the 10 of Hearts.
See?
Teller. Oh, here we go. Yeah. It was the
Showed the
it was the 10 of Hearts. There you
You
go.
guys
But
didn't
look, he doubled it.
I know, but at first she's like,
That was
yes.
amazing. It started a fight in the studio. That was so great.
At first he showed a 5 of Hearts.
That was part of the trick.
I know, but Story's like, it
now-
was a 5 of Hearts.
This is good.
Yeah.
This is good.
Yeah, they're
That's
really good at what they
because-
do, Tori.
That was
Should ask
so
around.
good.
That's because she's the nicest one of all of you. That's why she said yes on the 5 of Hearts.
I was ready
She's
to be
the
like,
kindest.
nuh-uh.
Sam was all over that.
I cannot wait till you guys are in studio.
We cannot wait. The new season of Fool Us is airing now. You can watch it every Friday on the CW. I know I will. We'll be right back.
Promotional consideration is brought to you by
For many of us, fall means football, sweater weather, and the seasonal flu. But now we've also got COVID to worry about. Our Verify viewers are asking, is it true that you don't need to space out your flu and COVID booster shots? Let's verify.
Our sources are University of Louisville Hospital's Hugh Schaff and Kristen Nordland, a spokesperson with the CDC. They say there's no need to space out your flu and COVID shots, whether it's your initial dose or a booster shot.
And you can get both vaccines at the same time because it's different vaccines for different diseases. So when you inject these vaccines into you receive the injection, your body's creating antibodies to two different diseases.
And he says, bring on those antibodies. The CDC agrees. In an email to Verify,
spokesperson Kristen Nordland says getting both your flu and COVID vaccines at the same time isn't just convenient, it's recommended. She writes, co-administration of all recommended vaccines is important because it increases the probability that people will be fully vaccinated. In other words,
Really, the important part is just getting the vaccine.
so we can verify this is true. You don't have to space out your flu and COVID vaccines.
And yes, you may feel less than 100% for a few days after those shots, but health experts say you'll be far better off than if you came down with the flu or COVID. Their takeaway: get vaccinated. With your Verify, I'm Paula Vassan.
Don't miss a day of DBL. I am here to receive that gift. Bold debates. Come on now. Enough.
Get real.
It blows my mind.
Hot celebs.
Happy 5th anniversary.
Love a suit, by the way.
Thank you.
Seriously, Al, give her a break. That just sounded weird, actually.
And all the laughs. That's Erica feeling it. Okay, I'm done with it. I'm done. DBL is always all new every day.
Welcome back to DBL. Shopping for your kid's favorite toy this holiday season might be harder than you expect. We're chatting about it on today's Bang for Your Buck presented by The Hartford. So, according to the Toy Association, who knew? This year's sales are up 18%, and that number is expected to climb. So, here are some shopping tips. First up, stock up now. It might seem silly to start buying now, but that's exactly what you should be doing. Next, expand your search. If you can, select the curbside pickup option. Online orders can get canceled if they run out. Last, widen your list. Encourage your kids to ask for a few different gifts. And if you want to treat yourself, we've made it easy for you. For quality and affordable insurance, the Buck's got your back. Call The Hartford at 1-800-683-7108 or visit thehartford.com to learn more.
That's right. It's been a tough year. Treat yourself. Get yourself something nice.
That's right.
I like that.
Are you
Good
buying
advice.
this online like toys aren't there?
No.
There's a shipping problem.
I think that's a conspiracy as well.
It's not.
We'll see you guys tomorrow.
Conspiracy.